Whenever you think that more Brexit drama is no longer possible, Boris Johnson adds one more thing. With his latest volte, he is putting Great Britain's international reputation at risk for transparent reasons. Oh, the Brexit. Yeah, that is there still too at the moment. It is important to read the British government's sentence carefully. Parliament is sovereign under domestic law and can pass laws that violates UK treaty obligations. So, legally, the Boris Johnson administration's plan is a breach of international law. Politically, it's a disaster, a slap in the face of the European Union and the British people. The plan for a British internal market law has caused considerable unrest since the beginning of last week. It nullifies the already agreed and ratified withdrawal agreement. This had been laboriously negotiated. Special rules for Northern Ireland were intended to prevent new hostilities from breaking out in the region due to a hard border with the EU member Ireland. London plays the whole thing down as an adjustment. The law clearly counts Northern Ireland as part of the British internal market, but does not even deny that it is violating applicable law. What is this government doing? The English language has a term for dangerous maneuvers in politics: Brinkmanship. Boris Johnson has always been a fan of it. Tactics, games, vaults, provocations are his thing. For him, it's first about the effect, then about the result. A Japanese word is more suitable for this maneuver: hara-kiri. Should Corona cover up the Brexit disaster? No one summed up the mood better than former Prime Minister John Major. Our signature on treaties or agreements was sacred, he said. If we lose our reputation now for keeping our promises, we could have lost something priceless irrevocably. The British government and the hardliners of the Tory party are still driven by the daring vision that only complete sovereignty and thus the brutal detachment from the EU can bring the British new prosperity. In return, London is even prepared to destroy the already fragile trust in the European Union during the last few meters of the negotiations. This is not only appalled former prime ministers, but also many Tories and, above all, the UK economy. You can't get rid of the suspicion that the hardliners around Johnson are trying to fold the possible dramatic consequences of a hard Brexit under the great corona mess. No major European economy has been hit harder by the pandemic. British GDP slumped 20% in the second quarter. For comparison, in Germany it was just under 10%. But there is a lot more at stake than a few percentage points. If the negotiations fail, the Tories would have two scapegoats: the virus on the one hand and Brussels on the other. If London withdraws the Single Market Act, every problem in Northern Ireland will be blamed on the continent. If the EU sues Great Britain, they are the victim who have to fight back and defend their sovereignty. If the EU breaks off negotiations, Brussels is also the empire of evil. But there's one thing Brexiteers should get in their mind now. With all that happened, we are far beyond blame game. On our side of the channel, I can't believe that anyone now cares for the blame game or who will be blamed. The EU will be blamed for everything that happens after Brexit. Even if there would be a full comprehensive trade deal under all conditions Boris Johnson wants, if nothing works out like it was as a member, the EU will be blamed. If there are no fried chicken hanging from the trees from January 1st, the EU will be blamed. And so I really don't care about the blame game anymore, and I cannot really believe that anyone on this side of the channel now does after all that happened. In addition to the dispute over fishing rights, the negotiations are also about state aid. The European Union wants London to put in place effective controls to guarantee fair competition. The British, however, do not want to be constrained or tricked into a future active industrial policy with which they could build national champions in new technology sectors. That is why they insist on the sovereign domestic market. So is the whole thing just a big diversion to find new leeway? Chaos for compromise? Well, this bluff is self-destructive. Sometimes one asks oneself which new Google, SAP or Microsoft should emerge from the rubble that this policy entails. One wonders what kind of sustainable creative ability these gamblers actually have. The Brexit vote was 4 years ago. When you close your eyes, you get dizzy with how time has passed. You can see how in a big carnival procession all these figures from the years go by, the sad Theresa May, the gruesome Dominic Cummings, the tough Mr. No Deal Michael Gove, and first and foremost the eternal clown Boris Johnson. And this train is now moving on alone into completely uncertain future, in which a pandemic, an economic crisis, and a world that has come out of joint await. And if you now want to know more about European politics, YouTube's chosen another of my videos right here for you on the end screen, right next to your chance to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!